Hi everyone, I'm Ella Hardy and I'm a representative at WRIC ABC8 and I'm also the host of the brand new podcast Life Behind the Lens. So before I get started on today's segment, I wanted to give a little insight about what this show is going to be about. So I'm going to be interviewing and getting to know celebrities, influencers, reality TV stars, musicians, anyone you can think of that has had some sort of experience in the public eye and with fan bases. So today, to join me for my very first episode is Marco Donatelli and Hannah Wright from Love Island USA Season 5. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm glad that you guys could come on with me today.
Oh, thank you for having us, especially on your first show. I'm so excited for you. This is going to be great.
I'm really excited. So, to get things started, it's hard to believe, but it's been over 2 years since you guys were on Love Island. Does that feel real to you guys?
It feels real when I look in the mirror. Other than that, not really.
It's
It
true.
is crazy to think about. I mean, every year I watch another season, and honestly, not even just bias, but season 5 is my favorite. I just got my mom and my sister to watch it for the first time. They hopped on the bandwagon for season 6, and I was like, you guys just missed out on the best season. And I got them to watch it, and they were like, oh my gosh. And now we're watching Love Island games and all of that, and we see KK and her on it as well. So now I've gotten everybody in on it. But yeah, I can't believe it's been 2 years. So catch us up a bit. What have you guys been up to over the last 2 years?
Oh my goodness. It's weird because it feels like so much has happened, but then it's flown by.
Yeah.
Like we're watching games right now too, and we're cheering for KK, and like
Hmm.
it takes us back because she was a good friend of ours in the villa, and like
Yeah.
she did great. But yeah, it's flown by. So many opportunities have came our way, so we're very blessed and just very grateful. And now to be engaged, the first engaged couple from the show, like I think when we both went in there, that's not something we pictured, you know?
Yeah.
And so to see it blossom, it's been crazy. But we owe it to the fans and all the support voting for us. Like we wouldn't be here without them, I feel
Hmm.
like.
Yeah, it's been a long 2 years, but it has definitely flown by. Like I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
it's been a roller coaster of emotions, up and down, just being in the public eye. As well as watching our show just blossom into this mega, universe. When we were on, it was more just like a family, and
Hmm.
now it's into a universe. So over the 2 years growing with the show came with a lot of highs and lows, and then obviously personal issues that we each go through. Just shows that like Love Island is meant to establish love, and when you're
Yeah.
able to establish love and do what the show is meant to do, great things can happen. And as you asked, just some things we've been up to. At first, after the show, I was in my original first ever lease in Boca Raton, Florida. College housing, as you could kind of understand, that's
Yeah.
best. And I moved Hannah out there, used the money that we won to get her from California to Florida.
Oh, wow.
Yep, and we stayed there for about a year, and then we were able to make the decision. Well, I made the decision, and she really just trusted me again. Trust and love came here and brought us to Pittsburgh, which was probably the best thing we've ever done.
Hmm.
Yeah, and
We love it here.
love it. This past year, she experienced her father passing away, so I feel
Oh, I'm
like
so sorry.
that's like one of the lows that we went through, but more of a high as it's a blessing now. Like I
Hmm.
said, it's just an up and down roller coaster. In 2 years, we've done a lot of ups and had a lot of downs, but just without our fan base and without the love we established, I don't think any of it would have been possible.
Yeah. And that actually ties in great to the next thing I was going to ask. So, as we know, being on Love Island really changes people's lives in a lot of ways. I've heard that some people come in with some bit of a social media following, and others come in with, I mean, no type of social media following. And then, no matter whether you're in the main villa, you're on Costa More, whatever it is, you're automatically coming out with this fan base in a way. I'd love to know what each of your day to day lives were like before going into the villa, because I'm sure it's very different now.
Yeah, great question. So I was a full-time teacher. I would wake up at like 6 a.m. every day. I'd get home by like 4 and I was exhausted.
Yeah.
I love the kids, but they wore me out, bless their little hearts. So yeah, I knew after my first year teaching, that's not what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Uh, right now, at least in my 20s, I come from a family of teachers, so I just kind of took that route because of that. So yeah, I was working every day and in my hometown where I'm from in Palm Springs, and now it's like I'm my own boss, which is so nice because
Yeah.
we have these platforms and we are our own business. So it's super cool. Like, and it's all different. It's work, but it's different.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm not working a 9 to 5, but we do have to travel often. And especially as the show has grown, our following has grown as well.
Yeah.
All good things. It's all good things. And it's always what we both wanted to do. I will say we always knew that we did want to help people and use our and have platforms to help people and to impact people. And so we're just we're doing that every day.
Yeah. And for me, I was a CA, a chiropractic assistant, as well as a student athlete. I
Mm.
played college football for the first 2 years of my college career, and then going into the application process is when I stopped playing football. Actually, I got hit by a car, broke my leg.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, so that was what I was doing right before the show, just working when I could in the mornings at a chiropractic office, and then going to school full time. Like I said, living in college housing. Uh, I envisioned something great for my life. I didn't know what it was. I actually met a very, very good friend who is still my lead photographer to this day, named Logan.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he was getting into photography, and I was like, "Hey, I'm down to, shoot something on the beach," because we were living down in Florida, and we did this photo shoot on the beach. And this photographer in New York City saw the photo shoot and invited me up to New York to shoot, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." And I did the shoot and I sent it to Logan. I said, "Look, Logan, like, see how the world works or whatever." And after that shoot, I got a call back from the photographer and said he's shooting with Calvin Klein. Like, would you be interested? And I said, "Oh, absolutely."
Wow.
Again, this happened within like 3 months. So I went back up to New York and shot my first underwear, posted that, and then Love Island saw those photos. And then the rest is history. But it was all within like 4 months, which is crazy.
That is crazy. And again, you guys are flowing perfectly into what my next question was going to be because I've been hearing that, the process of people getting on the show actually is different than we might think. I thought everybody had to apply, but then I was hearing that some people get recruited. So it sounds like your situation was you were recruited.
Yes, he was. I wasn't though. I applied like
Okay.
everybody else. And well, I reached out to a casting director
Mm-hmm.
who so I had that immediate connection with the casting director,
Okay.
and she was like, fill out an application. So I was like, okay. But yeah, I had no social media following. I had like 1,200 followers from like people from my hometown. And then my account was on private, so I was a teacher. And then I put it off private when the show was happening and stuff like that. So yeah, for I think there's few cases now where we do actually apply.
Mm-hmm.
But a couple people from our season applied, and I think season 6. But I think majority they do reach out to now. Yeah.
Yeah, when we talked a couple weeks ago, I think there were only two or three from this past season that actually applied, which is so crazy to me. But I mean, I really like both of your situations, honestly, because I mean, Marco, you came from a very normal, you could say, background, and then Hannah, same thing. I mean, you were saying no social media following, and I think that makes it even more significant, the fact that you guys, won the show and people were following you the whole way through, and it really just showed how authentic you were through the entire thing. I mean, you didn't come in with all of these people other than your close friends and family, all of these people supporting you online, so it really just showed how much you guys must have appealed to the people individually and as a couple for to make it all the way. So that's even cooler to hear. So since you signed up, so what was your reasoning for signing up? I mean, was it fully like just want love, or what was the thought process when you signed up?
Um, to be honest with you, I think we both saw something bigger for ourselves. We didn't
Yeah.
know what it was. I think everybody in different industries sees, like, you have a picture when you're a kid, or you
Mm-hmm.
see something and you're like, okay. So for both of us, we're like, okay, we could see ourselves on camera. We didn't know how that would happen. So honestly, that was in the back of my mind. And I was so single as a teacher. I would wake up, work every day, come home. Like, no dating life, no anything. So I was like, okay. And oh, I got the call for Love Island. I was teaching summer school, and I was at the aquarium with the kids. And I was trying, like, for them to be quiet in the background. I didn't want them to know I was working.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so that just shows like I was really working.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah, so that was my reasoning.
For me, just like I said, they reached out to me. I had no idea what it was. I was terrorizing
Yeah,
South
no
Florida.
idea.
You know what I mean? I was living the college bachelor life,
Yeah.
who ate tea, and I kind of got sick of it. I'm not gonna lie. I once I was going through the process, I'm like, you know what, like my personality it deserves to be on TV, like 100%. So I'm like, if one thing correlates here, it's my personality matches what this show wants. You know what I mean? Now, anything else that came after that, I had no clue. I just went through. I never watched the show. I never followed anybody from the show. Like I never reached out to anybody from the show. I had no idea what it was.
Yeah.
So I went into it blind and just was myself and really just thought like number one, I'm going to get on this thing and win it. And when I get on it, I'm going to meet the love of my life. And that's really what I told the therapist right before I walked in the villa. And it just happened. It was a blessing, to be honest.
Well, it sounds like both of you did go in there with the mindset of love, which is great because you never know like what there's a bunch of different reasons why I'm sure people are going in there, but I'm glad to hear that in the back of your mind you guys were always going in there for love. So, I'm sure there were a lot of really hard times being in the villa. What would you say were the hardest parts of being on Love Island?
Oh, there were so many. Uh, I know his hardest part. The lack of sleep, which affected both of us. He's very big on his sleep.
Mhm.
If he's not in bed by a certain time every night, like there's gonna be a personality change. He just doesn't know.
Mhm. Me too.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. So, and that was the thing. They would have you up till like 4 a.m. some nights,
Oh
like
my
a
God.
recoupling or like a dramatic night, and then you'd wake up at like 6 a.m. You don't know the time, but we're just assuming because like we see the sunrise. There was
Yeah.
multiple times where we saw the sunrise. So that was, I think, the hardest thing for both of us, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, and we're very independent people too. And in
Mhm.
there, you cannot be independent. Like you're on everybody else's time. Everyone, you have really no control over anything. And we were watching games and we're like, do you miss this? And we're like, no, I don't miss this at all. I love my food. I love my dogs. I love waking up every day and having my routine, and you don't have that in there.
Yeah, she pretty much hit the nail on the head. I would say routine, discipline, and independence would probably be the worst thing about the villa. Again, you have no routine. If they wake you up at 6 a.m., you better get up. If you got to go on a date at 7 o'clock before the sun gets up, you got to go on the date, you know. There's days you can't hit the gym or you're too tired to hit the gym because you're on 2.5 hours of sleep.
Mhm.
You really sacrifice your discipline because you may think you're ready for the villa, you may think that you're built for it, but you're truly not. And I took it more as a competitive thing, as was more the letdown of the villa. Like I didn't realize how socially included everybody was. Like I thought you needed to be ready to be there, and there was a lot
Mhm.
of people that mentally weren't there. Took time to go to bed, didn't realize like, oh, we're keeping other islanders up. Took time in the kitchen, not letting other people eat between beach huts. Like,
Yeah. That's
Oh.
why there's drama.
that's where the lack of discipline came
I,
there.
we get annoyed with each other. Just imagine 20 other people who you
Mhm.
don't know, who just grow up so much differently than you
Yep.
and don't have the same hygiene, don't have the same
Yeah.
manners.
Yep. Showers are dirty. Like
Yeah.
it came down to discipline and comfort of lifestyle, I would say. When you walk in that villa, you are a dirty diaper and you ain't walking out clean. Just put it that way.
It looks so glamorous, but it was
Yeah.
very dirty.
It's
And we've talked to people.
But I mean, it's 20 people living in there,
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
25. So like I don't expect it to be clean. And
Yeah.
that's the thing where I differed from a lot of people is it was like I kind of knew what I was going into. I did 90 days hard. I went without a phone before the villa to prep my mind. Like I did a whole bunch of the stuff to like be able to stay in control of my mind, body, and emotions. And I think if you watch this season, Jeremiah did a really good job of that. And
Mhm.
it makes sense because he put down his phone for a week or two before and got into a book on mental strength. So it shows like if you do the prep work or the people that don't do the prep work, it also shows.
Yeah. So even though you said you had never seen the show before, they at least gave you an idea of what
Oh
was
yeah.
actually going to happen once you got there.
I knew I would have no phone and no outside connection, and I knew I was going to be shirtless the whole time, so I got to have my body in shape. That much I did know.
Well, at least I gave you a little bit of information.
Yeah.
So, if you guys could go back to a little bit over 2 years ago now, and have changed anything about your experience, would you? And if you would, what would you change?
I think I would be more present because, and this is something a producer was constantly having to remind me. She's like, Hannah, there's no other time where you're gonna have to not worry about anything. You're not gonna have to worry about bills. You're not gonna have to worry about food. You're not gonna have to worry about life drama. Like, so really be present because you're gonna look back and miss that.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'm irritated. Like at the end of our season, I don't know if you remember, me and Marco didn't get a lot of screen time. We
Hmm.
were checked out. Like we found each other and I was just kind of ready to go. So yeah, I wish I would have been a little more present in the later days.
Yeah, I would probably agree. If I could change something, it would have been to stay locked in the whole time. I got so mad that one of the producers pulled me out, like there was 110,000 applicants and you're the top six and you're here complaining that you want to leave. I said, you know what?
You're
You're
right.
right.
You're right, yeah.
Yeah.
A little spoiled.
You know, you get a little spoiled when you're in there, so definitely living in the present, living in the moment, and as well as like on the positive thing, we both were ourselves. We stepped out of our comfort zone. The strip tease was fun as hell for me and nerve wracking as hell for Hannah. You know, so we each stepped out of our comfort zone and we really relied on each other and we did what the show was meant to do and we won, you know, and we're still together. Like if there's any representation of what Love Island should be, it should be us two.
Very true. So I have to ask, obviously, we all know that you're engaged, and if you don't know, you're living under a rock. So oh my gosh, you can even from this kind of camera, how big it is. It's so beautiful. So congrats, by the way, my formal congrats. So give us all of the engagement and wedding details. Marco, I saw that it was in the Dominican Republic, but how long were you planning? What was the planning process like for the engagement?
December 12th to December 17th of 24, I was in my notepad just really drawing it all out.
Oh
I started
wow.
outsourcing right around like the late December, but then I took a break because it was New Year's and Christmas. So I really started, so I drew it up in December, but I started outsourcing in January of where I wanted it. But I ran into some complications and I knew what jewelry company I wanted to go with just because I wanted a trusted jeweler who has dealt with reality TV people. I know that the guy from The Bachelor, Neil, I knew
Yeah.
that he worked with K Jewelers, and I'm like, okay, if I get a good established jeweler that I know I can trust, that can customize me something special for Hannah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to go with someone who has experience with the TV world. So I went with K Jewelers. So that was the first part of my, drawing it all up. And then my second part of drawing it all up is I want it on a beach. And I'm like, where could I get it on a beach where the sunset will set behind the hotels, not to the water, so it doesn't cast a shadow, right?
Yeah.
So
He
then I
really
was
thought
thinking
about
about
everything.
yeah, yeah. So then I was thinking about Mexico, but the way in Cancun when the sun would go down, it like casted a bad shadow. So I'm
Hmm.
like, all right, I can't because we went to Tulum in December. I'm like, all right, I can't do it here. Mornings were beautiful in Tulum, but evenings were rough on lighting. So I'm like, all right, I can't do it here. And then I found the Dominican Republic, and I'm like, oh, this is perfect. Like the hotel's pretty tall, and you got to walk down to get into the resort. So I knew the sun would be blocked during like the evening hours, I would say,
Yeah.
like sunset hours. So then that's when I made the decision that I'm going to go to the Dominican Republic uh, for it. And then, like I said, it was just a whole process of drawing it up. I knew I wanted flowers, roses actually, to be exact, because Hannah likes roses. I like roses. Um, and so I was like, well, let me call one of my connections that has a place in the DR to see if I can, reserve roses. It should be
Hmm.
cheap. Like I'm just like, oh, I'm not taking into accountability this budget, right? I'm like, oh, roses should be cheap.
I was about to say,
You know?
Rose is cheap. Since when?
Yeah, well, cheap, hopefully. And I was thinking like, oh, if I get them in the DR, like it shouldn't be bad, right?
Yeah. True.
They call me, they're like, oh, we're sorry, Marco. We don't have roses in Dominican Republic. I said, what? They're like, oh no, they're like, you got to order them in from Miami. I'm like, okay. So I ordered in the
Interesting.
roses from Miami to Secrets. Dominican Republic. Secrets Resort was such a good help with that.
Oh,
And
I'm going to a secrets resort in Antigua for my honeymoon, so I'm glad to
you're
hear
gonna
good
have a
things.
blast. Yeah,
Especially for a honey or anything has to do with a relationship, they go above and beyond.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it.
right. So yeah, that was it. That was with the location. I drew it up. Knew I wanted to propose on the beach. I knew I wanted white roses around me. Ordered them in from Miami to the Dominican Republic. Got our room reservation and then flew out cameraman and photographer for it. Uh, just had it all set up with her. I did a run through actually the night before while she was in the shower. I lied and said I was going cigar shopping, but I really was engaging to the local Dominican girl. Like I was practicing my speech, and I did the whole thing. I walked her down. Like we made sure the cameras were all good. It was just my whole engagement experience was just exactly what I wanted and so much fun. And then as the ring went, I did K Jewelers, as I said, and they did this cool customized process where I was able to customize Hannah's ring with a quote from her dad, that said "Protect my baby" before he died. Like he told me
Oh.
to protect my baby, so I engraved that in her
Mhm.
ring, and then we sourced the diamond from out of country, I believe, and yeah, I went with the solitaire cut because that's what she told me she wanted.
Mhm.
Platinum setting because I knew it needed to be strong to hold the diamond, and then 14K white gold band.
Wow, and he still remembers that all in his
Oh
head.
yeah, that's the diamond 6.07 carats, 8 total with the band diamonds as well.
He has a photographic memory.
Oh yeah,
He cheats.
Oh.
yeah,
But he did very good. All of it.
yeah.
No complaint.
Well, that's great to hear. But I'm assuming the flying the roses in from Miami was not cheap.
They were beautiful though, but they did.
So pretty.
The funny thing is that nobody knows is they came in about 4 feet tall. So when you go buy roses, we all buy them from the store,
Yeah.
and they're already snipped.
Yeah.
These were roses like I bought I guess real roses
Mhm.
From
from the plant. They were like 5 feet each. So when we walked out for the walkthrough, the roses were like up to like my waist. I'm like, hold on. When I get on a knee, we're not gonna be able to see the beautiful water behind us. So then we had to cut them all down ourselves.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Again,
That's
the
crazy.
secret is so good.
Yeah.
Like, didn't they do that like an hour before they're cutting roses
The secrets team was doing it.
to make
Oh, I
sure
was
it looks
sweating.
good?
I was sweating. I'm getting text messages like the roses are too tall. The roses are too tall. I'm like, oh no. Yeah.
Well, if that was the most stressful thing, it sounds like it wasn't too stressful.
Oh no, not really. Just hiding it was the stressful part because Hannah had no idea I was doing it.
No idea. And I had a feeling, but then he like put me off his tracks. Like he was so nervous, and I was like being very like on edge. But I'm like, okay, whatever. He's on edge sometimes with his sports betting, so I'm like, okay, I just kind of let it
As
be.
we all are.
So I was like, okay. And then we did a TikTok. And I was like, oh, he must be fine. We're doing a TikTok. Okay. It was like a goofy, funny sound TikTok. And then I was like, okay, it must not be happening. And then we show up to the beach and I'm like, oh my gosh, I see our good friend, the one he was telling you about, our photographer. I was like, is that Logan? I'm like, what is Logan doing here? And he's like locked in, taking pictures. Oh, this is happening. Okay, and it was so beautiful though. Like for me, like it felt like we were in our own world,
Yeah.
and there was jazz music playing, and like
Oh, wow.
my dad loved jazz music. It was like all these little things that the sunset we had was crazy. Like we didn't have a sunset like that the whole time, and like it just felt like we were in our own world.
Yeah, every single star had to align. You watched the engagement video, I take it?
Yeah.
Every single star had to align. The weather had to align. The lighting had to align. Cameras had to be good. The golf cart had to pick us up in time. Like everything just was so perfect to how I drew it up, and we were truly blessed by it.
That's so great to hear. So to move on, I know you mentioned sports betting a little bit, so this kind of goes into my next thing I was going to ask. So, Marco, we talked earlier about you being a huge Steelers fan.
Oh,
You,
huge is an understatement. I am diehard.
if you saw our room, this office right now, it was,
Yeah.
oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There's a
Hell yeah.
So you've
Nice.
always been a Steelers fan? Because I know you guys live in Pittsburgh now.
Mhm. Yeah, I've never had a choice. As
Oh,
soon as I
okay.
came out of the womb, it was black and gold. So I,
Yeah.
I wish I had a choice, but fortunately enough, unlike you Cowboys people, you don't know any wins between the '90s. We won in 2005 when I was 4 years old. So when I started, that's when I really started. Is when I watched the Super Bowl for the first time in '05, and I'm like, wow, this is cool.
Yeah. Oh, you got to, so you watched it at home or you actually went to a
Yeah, I
Super?
watched that home,
Okay,
watched
I
it
was
at
about to
home.
say, I was like,
Yeah,
you went
yeah,
to the
yeah,
Super Bowl. Gosh.
yeah, I was 5.
Your dad would have took you though if you
Yeah.
could.
But actually, that's so funny because it's such a full circle moment. When I was watching that game, as I got older, I realized like who were our players: Troy Polamalu,
Yeah.
Heinz Ward, Antoine Randall Well, and there was this player named Joey Porter,
Hmm.
which I was like a big fan of. He was outside linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And in Love Island, I'm like, Hannah, I love the Steelers. Like, I'm a diehard. And she's like, oh, that's funny. She's like, my uncle played for the Steelers back in the day. I'm like, oh, who's your uncle? She's like, Joey Porter. I'm like, wow.
Oh
That's
my
kind of
gosh, that's
like,
crazy.
yeah, it's like a full circle moment there. And yeah, diehard Steeler fan, to say the least.
Every Sunday.
Oh,
Yeah.
My mom's side is pretty half and half. We have half Jets, half Steelers on my mom's side. So, but I would say the Steelers fans are much more committed. And then we have my dad's side that's half Cowboys, half Commanders. So that's great during football season, as you can guess. But and then,
Style.
I
You
mean,
don't
my
make
fiance is a Browns fan, but I
oh, I
know
feel
they're,
bad for him. Maybe
yeah,
next year. Tell him maybe next year.
maybe next year. But I mean, the game this past weekend, I think surprised pretty much everybody, including the Browns fans. So.
Yeah, I put our future house deposit on Browns plus 7.5, so I'll take it all.
All right, well, we brought in the whole Steelers thing. So I heard that you're doing some sports hosting. Tell me a little bit about that. Tell me how you got into that. I mean, is it football you're doing, I'm assuming?
Yeah, so again, I love football. Prior athlete, got to be able to do Baha Mar ESPN Fantasy NFL Weekend, which was truly a dream come true. Where I hosted, where people would draft their NFL fantasy team in the
Mm-hmm.
Bahamas, where we did a whole bunch of challenges to determine draft order, and I actually got to meet some all-time greats. Todd Gurley, who ran for the Rams back in 2018 to
Mm-hmm.
2020, where he like really ran the whole fantasy league. If you had Todd Gurley 3 years in a row, you won your league. Put it that way. So it was pretty cool to meet all them, host it, just really create an interactive weekend around football. So that's when I first started was with ESPN in the Bahamas. Since then, minus 196 vodka seltzer, which is a pretty new. I would say this is their first year in the United States. It started overseas and in Japan actually, and they flew me out to Gainesville to do the UF LSU football game when the game was in Louisiana State. They had a tailgate
Mm-hmm.
party at UF, and they sponsored the tailgate party, so I was able to do a lot of fun things with that as well. But yeah, just a lot of fun times. My goal is one day to be, sports broadcasting, sports analysis, break down the game, give a lot of energy, talk the ins and outs of football and, why is it so addicting and why does a fan base get created around it and just bring storytelling back to football because
Yeah.
nowadays it's like who's the GOAT is a debate. It's all very basic, but I want to be able to create a story around it and, how it is a lifestyle and why it is my lifestyle.
Yeah. I think that would be great. I would love to see you on TV again.
Knows everything, Ella, about any statistic, you could quiz him right now, and he'll know who played in this game and what year and how many yards. Like there's a passion behind it.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of people like that though,
Mhm.
who could relate. Such a fun sport. So
And it's honestly great that you guys are in the position that you're in, that, you have some sort of a following now and you kind of have those connections in some way. I'm assuming there's some connections that it may be a little bit easier to get in contact with people to be able to do these types of things that it's like, if you would have never went on Love Island, who knows if you would have even been able to get these type of opportunities.
Yeah, that's so true.
yeah, it's a blessing.
And actually, part of doesn't even have to be on camera, but America's Team, did you watch it? The Cowboys thing on Netflix?
Yeah, I watched it when it first came out with my mom.
Unbelievable how Jerry Jones got in that position about the oil rigging and then used that money and told his dad he's going to buy the Cowboys and it just goes to show that like football is deeper than just what you see. That's
Yeah.
what I love so much about it.
Yeah. So to wrap things up a little bit, tell me what we can expect to see from you guys in the future. I know, Margaret, we talked a little bit about the football stuff, and obviously we know the wedding is. I mean, did you even say do you guys have like a date yet or a general timeline? You think
We do. We have a season.
A season.
a season? Great.
It is going to be a fall, God willing, 2026 wedding
Yes.
Okay.
In California.
in California.
Giving old Hollywood vibes.
I can see that. I can see that. Mine's in spring of next year, so we have a little bit of a gap, but I originally wanted fall, but timing for us just made sense in the spring. But fall is my favorite season. I'm a fall baby, so that's just fall is the best time of year to get married, I will say.
I agree. I totally agree. Yeah, so that's what we got so far. Is we got the season, got the date range of next year. We want the old Hollywood vibes. I know. What kind of dress do you want?
Lace covered, long train, lace mermaid fit dress. I know he really doesn't know what that is, but that's my vision. Just very classic looking. And then
Yeah.
if Peacock would love to do a special on us, we'd definitely be open to that. Just because.
Oh yeah, we 100% agreed that if Peacock wants to show a special of us getting engaged or getting married, that we would totally be down for it, and even have an open invite for all the fans and everybody to see this special moment between us two.
Or yeah, at least live stream it.
Live stream something so
Yeah.
you guys can watch it and be a part of it.
We want everyone to be a part of the journey because they were part of our journey. So the more
Yeah.
the merrier.
I think that would be great for them. I can't believe, that they haven't reached out to you about that already, but I think that would be a great idea, and I'm sure a lot of people would love to see that side of things as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot. It's gonna be a big wedding, so might
Yeah.
as well bring everyone along for
Mhm.
everything. So
It's gonna be fun. Hopefully, it gets
It'll be
picked
fun.
up by Peacock, and we do the bachelor party, the bachelorette party. I put my groomsmen on beach huts. It's gonna be a wild time, but it's gonna definitely be exciting. We definitely know what we want, and just like with the engagement, I know what I want. I'm gonna draw it out. I'm gonna work hard and effortlessly to be able to get this done for her, for me, and then for everybody else.
Yeah. So Hannah, other than the wedding planning, do you have anything coming up?
yeah, the past 2 months now I've been speaking at multiple women's conferences with the Modern Day Wife organization, which is a super cool organization where there's women from all walks of life who are also wives and moms, and you kind of just share your journey and in the business industry. So I've been speaking on a number of panels. My next panel is in November 22nd, 23rd in Arizona, Scottsdale, Arizona. So I'm doing one in Arizona and then February in New York. So if you are available, I have free tickets. It's on my social media, and it's so inspiring just meeting so
Yeah.
many impactful women who are also wives and moms. So I've really been enjoying it.
And we got some business deals for her in the mix too, but she did a big honor that she just got asked of 2 days ago, is to be the grand marshal of her high school homecoming because of her late father's passing. And I
Yeah.
just think it's a cool full circle moment to be able to be the grand marshal, go back. We actually give a scholarship to a female athlete from her high school every single year. So I just think that's like a full circle moment for her as well. It's something to be proud of.
Yeah. That sounds really fun, and I'm glad that, you're able to tie back to like your local ties as well, that you're able to do all of these things for all these different people. So yeah, it sounds like you guys have a lot coming up, even outside of all of the wedding things. So, is there anything else that you guys would like me to touch on before I close it out?
No, I think we covered a lot of it. Just stay tuned for wedding planning and what we have next on our social media. We
Yeah.
try to document as much as we can, but if anything changes, when we get a date, we'll let you know, Ella, for sure.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
We were the first to know.
And we're not how do I word that?
Is it about the wedding?
No.
Oh.
Hell no. It's I can't even think of the word. We're not like practicing not to have a kid, but we're trying to wait until after the wedding. That's the last, like, we would love for it to be after the wedding, but we're not preventing, I would say. We're ready.
Jeez.
I think that is not what she was expecting you to say at all.
Yeah.
At
Okay, well,
all,
I think
but,
that is
there
a
you go.
perfect way to close it up, just so that everybody knows.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really glad that I could have you guys on here today and hear a little bit about how your lives have been since Love Island, as well as, how wedding planning and things are going. So thank you guys so much for being a part of Life Behind the Lens and for taking the time to talk to me today.
Thank you,
Thank
Ella.
you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, of course. All right.